Thank you and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing something that I love to do with my bike, which is modifications, and today we're just going to be working on headlights again. And a couple months ago I actually upgraded my GSXS 1000 to LED lighting. It has been great. I did find some issues with the one I was using at the time where under some heavy acceleration I saw some flickering. So I haven't gone back to the actual LED light to take a look at it and see if there's anything loose in the connection or anything wrong happening with the LED lights. But as of right now, I have a new option that I'll be testing today. I will start with my VFR 800, and today we're just going to be replacing all the incandescent lighting for LED lighting. So I want to say thank you to Colite because they actually have been great to work with, and I was in the process of finding new lights to install on my VFR and maybe to replace my old LED light that I was using on my GSXS 1000. So they have provided some light for us today to test, and I will go and take you through the unboxing of these lights so you can take a look at them, and then we'll go ahead and install them on the VFR, and then we'll take a look and see how well they perform. All right, cool. Let's just do it. So this is the boxes the LED headlights comes in. One thing that you'll notice if you look at the bottom of the box, you'll see, okay, we have H4s in here, and then we have H7s on the other one. So the reason why we got these two is a couple reasons. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the VFR actually have 4 different lights in the front of the bike. Two of them I think are H7, the other ones are H4, but the intention was not to replace them all, it was just to replace the mains and think about potentially just using some on the GSX and then the other ones on the VFR. That way I can get them both and testing them on both of the bikes. So pretty standard unboxing from these lights. So you get your instructions, instructions in here, so you can get basic steps. Of course, this is going to change depending on the vehicle you're going to be installing these lights. But then in here you get this H7. You see the fan in the back. I'm just trying to be as careful as possible. It says H7 on the inside. You see the construction of the light, and then you have your module in here, and then the connection. So if we go to the other box, pretty similar experience. You get the instructions, then you have a somewhat of a similar setup. You have the fan in the back, you have the same modules, you have the connection, which in this case is like a 3-prong connection, and then you have your H4 body of the headlight. Have the before. This is the shot of the incandescent lights. So to avoid breaking stuff in the process, we're just gonna do it the way we should. So let's just go ahead and start removing all the upper cowl pieces. That way we can just get access to, easy access to the cowl. All right, so the name of the game here is avoid, cutting corners. So if your bike requires to remove the upper cowl, or if it's gonna make it better so that you're not breaking parts in the process, just go ahead and do it. Take your time. I know you can probably just squeeze your hands, right behind the clip-ons or the handlebars just to make all of this work. But essentially, I did it for 2 reasons. One, I wanted to be able to show it to you, and secondly, I want to do it in a way where it's comfortable and I'm not just struggling with my hands and not being able to see what I'm doing. This is gonna be different for each application, but in this case, the first step is just to remove the harness from the plug, like I'm showing there, and then you're gonna be removing that dust cover, and finally your pin that's retaining the bulb against that nest. Here's a quick comparison of the new LED light with the incandescent light. So the footprint, it's about the same, and then you get the same amount of taps. And now I'm just comparing the amount of prongs. So that's something that you want to do first before you start the projects. At this point, I'm just plugging in the light, and I'm just gonna test it out, make sure that it works. Cool. Now that I know that it works, I'm just gonna continue with the installation. Although I was able to show you how to remove the light on the other side, it was better for me to show it on this side because I had more visibility or light able to show it. So at this point, I'm just gonna line up the taps with the taps on the nest of the light, and then I'm just gonna position the light, and I'm just gonna be running the same retaining pin that is keeping the light in place and avoiding any movement when the bike is running, so that you can secure it in place. Once the light is secure in place, I'm just checking, make sure there's not going to be any movement, and making sure that the fan is actually operating without anything, getting in the way. I'm just going to run the cable through the dust cover. One thing that's important to mention is you could probably keep that module inside of the dust cover, but I kept it out because I know I'm not going to have any issues with water and whatnot. But you also want to keep it so that the fan can actually blow that hot air out of the nest, and you're not blocking or leaving it in the way, where you're just creating a tight seal where heat is not going to be able to come out of the nest. And although I show you the connection before, at this point I'm just finalizing the dust cover placement, and now I'm just going to be connecting this to the existing harness on the bike. And I realized that it was a little bit loose, so I'm just going to take with a small screwdriver without applying a lot of pressure and kind of closing the connections a little bit, so that when I install the new connection from the LEDs, they're pretty tight. You don't have to do this, but after I am installing this and testing that it actually indeed was a little bit more tighter, I'm just gonna go ahead and put some electrical tape just to cover the connection. All right, so installation is done. Now, if you see here, I'm gonna point to the LED light, and now I'm just gonna turn the bike, or at least just the ignition, so we can see the fans moving, and double check that that's good. And if that is good, we're just gonna go and put the bike back together. There you go. Fans are working. This is the after. All right, so now I wanted to turn on the bike and give it a couple revs. My intention is to confirm that any activity on the bike, there's no vibration is going to be interfering with the lights or any of the connection. And I just want to make sure that I'm not experiencing some of the intermittent lighting that I was experiencing with the other LED that I installed on the other bike. Alright, so I think it was a great modification. I love these lighting modifications because you are more visible when you're riding, and then you can see better when you're riding. So I mean, that's a win-win no matter how you see it. Alright, so I just want to say, Colite, thank you a lot for sending this product for us to test. I'm looking forward to take it for a spin, and maybe in a few months just give you, or maybe a couple of weeks or a few months, I can give you a more of a long-term, kind of medium-term durability test, or maybe just making sure that I can give you what my experience is after a few months. In addition to that, you saw everything in the video. I just want to say that all of the links and the links to the store on Amazon will be on the description of this video, so please take a look at that. And just if you like what you saw, just feel free to pick a product and then just take a look at it and consider it for your application. And if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to me by email. I'll be more than happy to reach out back to you and just kind of reply and just answer whatever questions I have. And if you have any recommendations or anything in the future, please just let me know. And thank you for watching this video again.
Thank you.